everyone, it's David here and you are watching David Owen Creates. We are going to be creating a table for my craft room. So I popped into my local hardware store and I'm getting some cheap wood. These ones were only like $1 a piece, so I picked up about 20 of those, and then I went upstairs and I got some longer pieces. I picked out 4 6 feet long by 5.5 inches, and then they were the same, like 2 inches thick. And these boards cost me roughly $4 a piece, I believe. The price of wood has gone up. Don't be surprised what you gotta pay. I got all of these pieces from Menards. They were pre-cut wood. They measure 2 inches by 6 inches by 10 foot, but they definitely are not 10 foot, I can tell you that. They're about 32 inches long, not 10 foot. They are not actually 2 inches. They go by 2 inches, but they're actually like 1.5 inches. I don't know why they always do that with wood for some reason. They always add on this extra 1/2 inch. That's definitely not there. This is considered a 2 inch, even though it's like actually 1.5 inches. I don't know. So that's thickness wise. I'm going to be taking 2 of these boards like this, like put together. I'm going to screw these together and this will be a table leg. So I'm going to create 4 of these. Alright, so what I'm going to do is actually just take a drill bit and pre-drill into the wood. My drill bit didn't go all the way through these pieces, so I went ahead and redid them, making sure I did not put the drill bit all the way through the back of this. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and screw these 2 pieces on the top together, and then I'll move on to do the same exact thing on the bottom half. I'm going to be using the same screws I used for a different project. It says number 8 times 3 inch, so they're 3-inch screws, and that way I know they'll go through the whole piece. Now these 2 pieces are together as one. And I'm going to repeat the same exact process on this side. Alright, I went ahead and finished all 4 of these pieces off camera. Now I'm going to move on to putting my top part down and then we will just trim out the rest. I went ahead and laid my boards face down. These are 6 foot long boards by 5.5 inches. They are face down because I'm going to be attaching the legs on this side. So I need to make sure that all of these boards are attached to each other. I was just going to take another one of these boards because I have a lot of them and cut it down to size and just put it like this and do the same thing that I did with these boards and just pre-drill and then screw this board into these 4, and that should hold all of them together. So I'll probably do one on this side and then one on this side, and then I'll have room to put my legs. Then I'm going to use another board to trim out the space so that you don't really see these boards underneath. I'm making sure that my boards are perfectly straight. I'll probably like do it about here, that way I can add my trim piece in. This leg will actually go about right here, give or take, because I do want a little bit of overhang on the top. This board specifically needs to come in just a little bit, because where I'm putting the trim on the outside, the trim piece that I have, I'm gonna go ahead and measure that really quick. It's just a thinner board that will go right here up against this piece. Alright, so I went ahead and measured my trim outside and it is about right in here, which is about 3/4 of an inch. So I definitely need to make sure that I go in, because my trim will be lined up with this piece here and go this way. So my piece needs to be right about here. We're going to mark 2.5. That's where my trim will be, and then 3/4 from that, which will be right here. And that's where this board is going to go. I'm going to draw a line across so I know where to put my board. And then again, we're measuring the same exact. I'm doing 1.5 inches inward. And then 1, 2, and 3 from that. I know that my board needs to be cut down right in here. Now this board can be a little bit shorter. Our trim will definitely fit. I will make sure I do that on this board. So I'm gonna cut out 2 boards this size. I'm gonna go ahead and I have already marked where my legs are gonna go. I'm gonna go ahead and show you how I'm gonna attach them. This is our outside piece over here, so I don't want a screw showing over there. So I am gonna be having trim in between here and over here. So I'm gonna be putting a screw right in the middle of this board down into this board. So I'm gonna pre-drill. Then I'm also gonna be putting a screw over here on this side. Once I put it in, my trim will cover it up. Got it right on the dot. I'm gonna hold it in place and pre-drill at an angle. Screw is in there, it's just, you know, we need another one over here for extra support. Oh shit. My drill bit just broke and I just bought these. This kind of stuff happens to me all the time. No big deal. We're gonna try that again, but I'm gonna have to just kind of move this around a little bit. And that drill bit's just gonna have to stay in here. That's no big deal. Then I'll just repeat the same process on this leg and the other 2 on the other side. I really hope not, because I don't want to be breaking all my drill bits. Alright, so I got my board cut down to size. So I'm just gonna position it in the middle. Make sure all my boards are pushed together as tightly as possible. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and pre-drill some holes. And we'll do about 2 in each board. Okay, so I was trying to figure out why these kept squeaking and all that. The loud noise it's making, you know. I don't know if you guys noticed in the beginning of the video when I kind of slowly showed you the box. These are actually drywall screws. They're not made for putting in wood like this. They're for the drywall material that you put on the wall, which I guess I didn't realize. I just grabbed them off the shelf and was like, oh, they're 3 inches, they'll work. So definitely make sure you do not get the drywall screws. Don't get the number 8 by 3 inch. And then I'll go ahead and finish the other one off camera. Alright, so I went ahead and flipped the table over just to kind of see what it looks like. So this is just the legs put on, the top, and then the 2 areas that we secured on the bottom. So now, because the legs are a bit wobbly, I am going to be putting another piece right in between from leg to leg, just to secure the legs together. That will create a more solid piece. This piece is, again, solid wood. It's very, very heavy. So when I go to put it in the room, I might have to take it apart, but at least I will have the areas where each leg and stuff is supposed to go. So I'm thinking I would just detach the set of legs rather than taking the whole thing apart. So I'll have the top separate, and then each leg or set of legs will be a separate piece. That'll be a lot easier to move into the room and then re-put it together. So I do think I'm going to take this outside and give it a quick sand, possibly stain it, because I do want to sand off these pieces, and there is a few bit rough areas right in here that I don't really want to cut myself on. So I'm going to go ahead and measure out the pieces and go ahead and put the legs together as a set, and then remove the legs, and then I'll take each piece outside to sand and stain. I'm going to go ahead and re-drill this piece And unfortunately, down here, the screws will be showing. As long as I have a sturdy piece, I don't think it's really gonna make that big difference for me. I'm gonna try to put this like as low as possible, because eventually I might put some boards across and have like a whole area down here. I'm gonna need a board sitting like right here. I'll just push those back. Now that my board is down there, I'm gonna go ahead and pre-drill and put some screws into this piece. So like I said before, I will be putting the screws from these boards into, I don't know if my screw would be long enough. It doesn't reach. Oh goodness graciousness. So I think I'm gonna have to just put a screw over here into the side of this. I think that's just what's gonna happen. Honestly, whatever. And then I'll go ahead and do the other side. So the screw is sticking out just a little bit, but it's into the wood. I might have to do the same thing on this side over here, just so that this piece is secured to it. So I could technically remove this piece. So on this side, there's this groove in the wood, and that actually worked out perfectly to put the screw, and it lays flat in there. So the groove is on the same side. I'm gonna go ahead and put the new hole in this side. So it'll be like in the middle of these two pieces. Alright, so the table is almost completed. The last thing I have to do is go ahead and put the trim from this leg all the way across to that leg, and then in between the legs as well. But before I cut that and do that, I do want to remove the legs, take everything outside and sand it, so I won't record that part. But I'm just going to go ahead and go over with 40 or 60 grit to get most of this stuff right here off, because I don't want any splinters or anything like that. And then I'll show you the color stain I pick. I decided to use Minwax Semi-Transparent Special Walnut. I got this from Walmart. When staining, I like to just dip the rag into the container and then start smearing it all over the wood. After you leave this sit and dry for about 15 minutes, you'll then take a clean rag and wipe off the excess oil or stain, whatever. I mean, it is oil. Okay. So I went ahead and brought the pieces back in after this was dried, and now I'm just going to attach the trim. So for the trim, I'm actually just using a 2 by 1/2 inch board. I cut it down to size. Now on the end piece here, I'm actually not going to nail it into anything. It fits pretty snugly if I just push it into place. I'm just going to literally do that just for the future. If I want to take this apart, it'll be a lot easier if the trim is not attached to anything. Now, it's not going to go anywhere. Like, if I move the table around, it's not falling off or anything. But I could always use some wood glue if I wanted to. Now, I am going to nail the side pieces because they don't really work out that way. So, I'll bring you guys over here so you can see. Oh, there's actually a board that is down here underneath. And I'm going to just nail it straight into this board right here. So it's going to go across this board. So I will just pop my trim on the side here. I'm just going to do one nail into the board. Now I'd already cut this to size. Just kind of getting it the way I want it, which I think this looks good. I just put a nail, just one nail in this, and that actually goes into this board right here. That is going to be how the trim looks. The end piece, just one little nail that's holding it up. I am going to put another one actually on this side where the other board meets. So the big board that we screwed into the top meets this board, that's where I'm going to put another finishing nail. So my table is done. Sorry, there's a bunch of crap all over it. I had to get it up off the floor. It was just, this stuff was all over the floor right here. All over. So now I have a cool table, but eventually I will get through these projects and I won't have a bunch of stuff everywhere. So, but I love this table. I think it's so nice. Love this chair. It just fits perfectly with it. If I just sit here and I can work at this table. Love it. This is the finished table. I really love it. I already got some paint on here because I've already started crafting on the table. So down here, I would have my glue gun over here, plugged in, ready to go. This thing shuts off within half an hour. All I have to do is squeeze the trigger and it is on, ready to go. So I love that. And then I also have my ring light, which is right here. That way I'm able to film my videos for the project. So I can just have it, it's not going to be like this on the table. I have like another platform that's not in here right now, but basically it would be like that. I'd hook my phone or whatever I'm filming with up onto the ring light and it would shine on here. This is also plugged in and ready to go, so I can show you guys kind of like my little setup. So here is the ring light. It just basically shines down onto my table. I absolutely love it. And then the chair, perfect for this table. It easily fits under here. I'm able to grab it, pull it out, and sit down. And this is about the height I'm at. So this is perfect for me sitting out here and crafting. If I do want something higher, I can always grab a different chair that is a bit taller, like a bar stool height. I would say this table is bar stool height. I don't really know though, but I'm pretty sure it is. And then over here, I figured maybe adding in this cool piece that I picked up from the antique store. If you haven't seen that video, I'll link that below. I only got this baby for $7.50 or something like that. Pretty good deal, honestly. I was thinking like maybe putting different pencils and Sharpies, just different colors and things like that. So they're really easy accessible to just grab. I don't know if I want to display it like how it is, like this, or I could do it this way. But anyway, that's besides the point. That's for another project of my own. This beautiful table is what I wanted to show you guys. I'm so happy with the turnout. If you guys give this a try for your own crafting room, definitely let me know and tag me so I can see your finished table. I already have some things that are in here in some boxes. They're stacked away. They fit pretty nicely right under here. I'm still able to grab what I need and then I can put it back, so that's pretty awesome. The trim has held up nicely. I kind of like the two-tone. I did not want to stain this. Maybe eventually I will, but it's kind of cool, like, because the top is a darker special walnut color, then we have our lighter pine tone, and then over here is like a weathered gray with the legs. So that's pretty interesting how it is a three-tone table. Kind of like it. It's very different. So this is the legs and the bottom, and it's really sturdy. Here I'm shaking the table. The only thing that's moving is the ring light and the thing down there. But yeah, the table's not really going anywhere. And then this little ledge is pretty cool because I can also store things on top of this if I wanted to. Sorry about my socks. And then also, because there's another one over here, if I move these boxes out of the way, I could eventually put some boards going across from this board to the other side. And that would be pretty cool. For now, I like this where it's open. then I can like put things in and out. Also, I measured and my art cart actually fits right under the table. However, I do have to have the top half cleared off. So a lot of the stuff would have to go in order for it to fit pretty snugly underneath the table. But for now, I'm absolutely in love with this table. I'm so happy that I got it done. So thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I really hope you enjoyed creating this table with me, and I will see you guys in the next video.